Hey, you guys, this is Rashawn Ellis for News, Views, and Conversations. Just want to pop back in real quick and give the ladies Tory Lanez update. He did an interview with NBC News, pretty much stating, what he's been saying the entire time, that he is an innocent man and that he was not the one that pop out Megan Thee Stallion in her foot. A lot of people are still kind of, like on the fence about if he's telling the truth or what really happened that night. I, for one, I actually believe him. I just don't see how or believe that he actually did what they are saying that he did. I really believe that it went down the way the bodyguard said. If he was dealing with both Megan Thee Stallion and her best friend, I believe, and then they had drinks. I do believe that if that's based off what he stated, I believe they probably got into it. She pop out her in the foot, and as the man, he calls up, kind of like being in the middle, but you didn't say anything though. I just really think that if he had have gotten on the stand, testified, and stood up for himself and said something versus trying to protect them as women, we probably wouldn't be here today. Whatever the evidence is that the bodyguard spoke of, knowing what happened, whatever evidence that wasn't presented before, they should have presented that. I'm hearing that the attorneys didn't even have that information, have all the information of what happened, whatever. So now, 3 years into his 10-year sentence, they're trying to come forth, and do all these appeals saying, okay, he did not power her in the foot. He should not be serving a 10-year, sentence or whatever. So it's a lot going on still. He's still trying to, get his freedom back, get out. He's never had any other prior records other than this. So that should, stand for something. I'm thinking hopefully that it will at some point, but it's just the fact of now that they have pretty much sealed the deal with, locking him away for 10 years, saying that he did it, they're trying to really make it stand. I mean, we've all seen that, she's in a new relationship, making the stallion with Klay Thompson. He's a basketball player. He plays for the Golden State Warriors. Me, I just kind of feel like this relationship that we're seeing being put in our face, I feel like it's a publicity stunt. I feel like it is to try to help clean up her image from all of what we've been hearing about with her and Tory Lanez. It's made her image look bad. So they went and got someone that looks just as polished as Klay Thompson to say she's not dealing with that anymore. She's with this guy. He's all clean and polished up. Looks like he hasn't done anything wrong, looking like a choir boy. I honestly just feel like this is a fake relationship and it's just to help clean up her image. So to get rid of the tainting of what happened with the Tory Lane situation and the pow pow that night that supposedly he did, when in actuality, her and the girlfriend were fighting over him because they both were dealing with him, sleeping with him at the time. So it's a big mess. So hopefully, I mean, maybe, with all the appeals, maybe he will get a chance to have his freedom a lot sooner than later. Again, whenever you have the chance to speak up to clear your name the first time, maybe you should. I mean, I just did a video a few weeks ago with Funky Deneva saying what actually happened to Tamar Braxton. He was trying to cover for her when supposedly she lost all her teeth. She don't know what happened. So he actually knew the first time, but he didn't say anything because he was like, I don't know what happened to the lady. I ain't getting into that. But the whole time he knew. So you saw what Tamar did. She sat there and let him get in trouble for her the entire time, never said anything until it finally went ahead and came out. He just went ahead and aired out all her it and told the whole world, wait a minute, you're messing with Yandy's husband. And it was another dude that went up to your room or to your apartment or whatever with you. He had to clear his own name because she wasn't going to do it for him. So that's what I'm saying. Instead of letting somebody get you in trouble, you should clear your own name because clearly, if they can walk away and not get in trouble for anything, they're going to let you sit there and suck eggs and suffer. And so that's the same thing that we're seeing happening in this case with Tory Lanez. Megan Thee Stallion, her best friend, or whoever she is, they've sat here and let this man suck eggs and get in trouble and spend 10 years of his good life behind bars over a lie because her and her girlfriend were fighting over him. My analysis, what I think only, my opinion. So I'm going to try to leave you with the NBC video of, his interview, what he did for the first time with them. But again, like I said, never let someone get you in trouble when you not tell your truth. If you're waiting for someone else to speak for you, it's a great chance, 10 times out of 10, they're not going to. They're going to let you get in trouble and they look good in the spotlight and you look bad in the spotlight. So just want to pop in and give my update information on this interview with Tory Lanez and him still speaking his truth. And hopefully he can get out, hopefully soon. This has been Chanel's Radio TV. I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.
Tonight, rapper Tory Lanez breaking his silence in his first ever broadcast interview from behind bars since being found guilty of shooting Grammy winner Megan Thee Stallion in the foot outside a party in 2020.
I've never been violent towards a woman. I would never hit a woman, let alone shoot a woman.
Lanez, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, spoke to NBC News from California Men's Colony, a prison where he's 3 years into a 10-year sentence after being found guilty on 3 felony counts, including assault with a semi-automatic firearm.
There is definitely a very big misconception about me that seems to the public as I'm this monster. And I feel like I was catapulted into this poster child for the unprotection of Black women. And it's just so unlike me. And I've never really had a chance to express that, but you can look at my criminal record. I don't have one. I never had one. And I feel like, that connotation that I would do anything of this monstrous proportion is completely incorrect and it's wrong.
Lanez declined to testify during his 2022 trial. Do you regret not taking the stand?
I think if I would have taken the stand, the verdict would have definitely been very different.
The rapper's legal team filed an appeal, which was denied in November. But his team is continuing to fight, with plans to file multiple appeals next week, this time with the California Supreme Court, in one claiming newly discovered evidence that they weren't provided during Lanez's 2022 trial, including hundreds of pages of medical records for Megan Thee Stallion, whose real name is Megan Pete, which they allege raise questions about the fragments removed from her foot after surgery. His team argues that the fragments were not provided ahead of trial and that this was a violation of due process.
And we didn't have that chance. Or perhaps we could have questioned the doctors differently when they were on stand to impeach them, because it does look suspicious.
But in the appeal denied in November, the court did address the fragments, ruling that the surgeon's testimony was, quote, more than sufficient to prove great bodily injury on Pete. Proving something like this on appeal is tough.
This is a really, really difficult appellate argument for defendants to prove, because they have to show if the evidence actually came into court, the jury would have found differently. It's an uphill battle, and it's something that often torpedoes any defense appellate argument.
The Los Angeles District Attorney's Office and representatives for Megan Thee Stallion have not responded to NBC News' request for comment.
I believe not only that I was wrongfully convicted, but the amount of new evidence that has emerged since that trial, I think, has been overwhelming.
What has life been like in prison for the last couple of years?
Truthfully, I've done my best to keep my head above water, but mentally, I've gone through trauma that I sometimes even struggle with, because I never imagined myself dealing with things that I would have to deal with. I've been stabbed 17 times. Almost lost my life.
If you could say something to Megan Thee Stallion today, what would it be?
I think that I wouldn't say something directly to her. I'd like that moment to happen in person. We've both gone through a lot. There's this connotation that, like, I share this hatred for her, but I don't. I genuinely passed that. I'm at a place of healing in my life. I'm at a place of taking accountability for the things that I did wrong. And when I talk about my case, I don't want it to be taken as me coming at her, because it's not that. I'm just asking for somebody in the system to look at my case and look at the evidence and ask if this was fair.
And with that, Chloe Malas joins us now on set. So, Chloe, Tory Lanez is also seeking a pardon from Governor Gavin Newsom?
That's right. His legal team has filed the necessary paperwork, and it is before the governor now. So they're seeking either a pardon where his criminal record will be wiped clean, he would be released from prison, or to have his sentence commuted, meaning that the time he has served is sufficient, and release him, but that doesn't change his criminal record. As for when this could happen, the governor typically does these twice a year, so this could happen before the new year.
All right. Chloe Malas for us. Chloe, thank you.